What if I told you that the most important hours of your day aren't the 8 you spend at work, but the 3 you spend right after? Seriously, those quiet hours, the ones we almost always waste, hold the key to completely changing the entire direction of your future. And in this explainer, we're going to unlock that secret. You know this feeling. We all do. The key turns on the lock, the door clicks shut behind you, and wham! The weight of the day just crushes you. It's not just feeling tired, it's like a deep physical exhaustion. Your best energy is gone, spent. You're just running on fumes. And here is the idea that should change everything for you. That feeling of being completely drained, it is not a personal failure. It's a biological trap, and literally millions of us are caught in it. So what if there was a way out? Today, we're giving you a simple, super practical protocol to flip your evenings from just survival mode into the launch pad for the future you actually want. Okay, so first up, let's explore why our natural instinct after work, which is totally understandable, by the way, actually leads us down a path that pretty much guarantees that we stay exhausted day after day after day. This right here, this is the default setting for most of us. We collapse on the couch, we grab a screen, we pour a drink. It's not because we're lazy or we lack ambition. It's because our nervous system is just screaming for a break, for some kind of anesthesia to silence the noise of the day. I really want you to pay attention to this moment, because this choice, what you do right here, in this state of complete depletion, this is the invisible fork in the road. It's the quiet, unseen pivot point where the path to an ordinary life completely diverges from an extraordinary one. So if that choice is the fork in the road, what are the two paths? This is where we have to understand the absolutely critical difference between two things we always confuse: numbing our stress and actually recovering from it. First things first, let's just kill a toxic myth right now. The internet is screaming at you that you need to come home and grind on a side hustle until 2 a.m. Look, that's not a strategy, it's a recipe for total burnout. The real path, quiet compounding, is all about using small, targeted moments to build momentum in a way you can actually sustain. This slide right here, this is the whole game. Numbing, scrolling social media, binge watching a show, it's just anesthesia. It hits pause on the stress, but your brain is still fired up, it's still highly stimulated. That's why you can watch TV for 3 hours and still feel completely exhausted. Recovery, on the other hand, is actual healing. It actively processes stress, it lowers your cortisol, and it builds back the energy you're going to need for tomorrow. Just think about it for a second. Have you ever wondered why you can relax all evening but still wake up feeling like you haven't slept at all? It's because we have confused the feeling of anesthesia with actual healing. That numbing might feel good in the moment, but it keeps your body in a state of low-grade alert, basically robbing you of the deep, restorative rest you so desperately need. And that leads us to the question that changes everything. If numbing just keeps us stuck in this loop of exhaustion, how do we consciously make the shift to genuine biological healing that actually sets us up to win? All right, this brings us to the solution. And it's not about hustling harder or grinding longer. It's a calm, practical, and incredibly simple framework you can start using the second you get home tonight. So the protocol has 3 simple phases, but I want you to think of this less like a rigid checklist and more like a gentle, protective system for your time and your energy. It's all about creating boundaries and, most importantly, paying yourself first. Phase 1 is all about creating a hard boundary. The moment you get home, you create what we'll call a moat. Change your clothes, and this is the most critical part, put your smartphone in another room for just the first hour. This one single act is so powerful because it breaks that reactive loop of notifications and dings, signaling to your brain that it's finally safe to power down. Now for phase 2. And honestly, this is where the magic really happens: the quiet investment. Before you give your time away to Netflix or chores or anything else, you take the very first, freshest slice of your evening and you dedicate it to building your own future. Now you might be thinking, 45 minutes a night, what can I really get done? Well, let's just look at the math of quiet consistency. That tiny little habit, 5 days a week, compounds into this: 200 hours of focused, deep work over a single year. That's enough to learn a new language, master a high-value skill, or read 50 life-changing books. It's an absolutely insane competitive advantage. But what you do in that time, that's everything. This is about shifting your information diet from fast to slow, Fast info, breaking news, social media outrage. It's like junk food for your brain. It expires in a few hours and it just leaves you anxious. Slow info is timeless knowledge. It builds perspective, not panic. And finally, we come to the phase that guarantees your success for the next day, the digital sunset. An hour before you plan to sleep, you cut off all the junk food. No more doom scrolling, no more outrage algorithms. Instead, you remove all the friction from your morning. Lay out your clothes, pack your bag, and write down the one single task that matters most for tomorrow. This quote right here reveals why that digital sunset is completely non-negotiable. Our culture has taught us that sleep is for the weak, that it's a waste of time. That is dangerously wrong. Sleep is the ultimate performance enhancer. It protects your judgment, your creativity, and your emotional stability. It is the most active ingredient in your success. Finally, let's zoom out for a second, because this isn't just about having better evenings. This is about how a series of small, quiet shifts can completely rewrite the entire trajectory of your life. But let's be real for a moment. This is not about being perfect. You are going to have nights where you order a pizza and crash on the couch, and that is perfectly okay. The goal here is consistency, not flawlessness. A gentle reset the very next day is all it takes to get right back on track. Ultimately, this is the transformation we are all looking for. You shift from constantly looking for an escape from your life to actively building a life that you don't need to escape from. The desperation just fades away, and it's replaced by a quiet confidence and a sense of genuine control. So, I'll leave you with this. Those hours after work are coming, whether you're ready for them or not. They can be a black hole of exhaustion, or they can be the workshop where you actually build your future. The choice is yours, and it begins the moment you walk through that door. What will you build in the quiet tonight?